Hi, my name is Kristen and welcome to my channel. I am doing an introductory get to know me video. So let's get started. Question 1. What book got me into reading? Sorry, I have the questions on my phone. The book that got me into reading is probably The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. One of my professors in high school, read the book aloud to us, and then we watched the movie to kind of like compare and contrast between the two. And I thought that was really interesting and made me fall in love with reading. What series got me into reading? The series that got me into reading probably is going to be the Shatter Me series. Specifically, the first 3 books in the series. So the first one is Shatter Me, and it's by Tahereh Mafi. The second one is Unravel Me, and then the third one is Ignite Me. I read all through these 3 on a vacation to Georgia, I think, with my family. And I remember just sitting in the car reading them, and oh my goodness, I read them so fast. But then I kind of got away from the series. And then recently I actually reread these 3 books plus the rest of the series, finally. And I read it with a bunch of my book friends, and we fell in love with this series. It's so good. It's so good. If you like dystopian, enemies to lovers, kind of a romance comedy in certain aspects, definitely with the banter between the 2 main characters. Basically, she overcomes lots of difficulties throughout her journey, and I really like how that was portrayed throughout it. The chapters are all really short also. That really helped me fly through it, and I love this series. I don't think any other series will kind of compare to my love of this one. And I even read the novellas that go like in between certain ones. The novellas weren't as great as the books, but I still loved them because they added some to the story. But yeah, I really love this series. And if you haven't, and you like dystopian fantasy, definitely I recommend picking this series up. It's so good. Next question is, what is your favorite genre? My favorite genre, honestly, is probably fantasy, because it's an escape from the real world, reality, stuff like that. What other ones? I know I have other ones. Romance. I like romance and mystery. True crime is a big, I like finding ones that interest me the most. And probably some science fiction. Not a whole lot, but I've read like the Illuminae files and Wool by Hugh, Howey. Those types of science fiction, because they weren't all that technical that I could still follow along, but it was still technical enough that, I knew it was a science fiction, if that makes sense, you know? And I've been trying to branch out and get into romance, like, the, small town, not or realistic type, I guess, romance, like Lucy's Score, with Things We Never Got Over. What other ones? I can't think of other ones, but that type of genre of romance I want to really get into. And then I'm starting to get into dark romance, so like Willow Winters, H.D. Carlton, those types. And that's basically all of the genres that I kind of gravitate toward when I'm in the bookstore or Amazon. But if you have any other recommendations of some genres or books within those genres that I mentioned that I should check out, definitely like comment them down below and I'll give them a look. Next question is, would you ever try writing a book? I have dabbled, is that the right word, with the idea of writing a book. I have a short story that I've written, but I think I want to kind of turn it into a more longer book. But I haven't gotten back to it in like years because I started it in college, I think. But yeah, I really want to get back into it. I really liked the story that I came up with, and I want to see like where it all goes from where it ended, you know. But yeah, hopefully I can get back to it. I am in college working to be a vet technician. So that's taking up a majority of my time right now. But hopefully I will get back into writing my short story and turning it into a book, hopefully soon. Probably not until after I graduate though, which is another like year. But I don't know. We'll see where everything kind of goes. The next question is, what do you love to do besides reading? Like I mentioned earlier, I like to write, and I like to paint and draw. I will insert a couple pictures of some of the paintings and drawings that I've done in the past. I would really like to get back to it because I liked how creative it made me feel. But again, I've been really busy, so I haven't gotten a chance to get back to it, but I really want to. I used to play piano and cello, but I got rid of them because I haven't played them in forever. Yeah. But yeah, those are what I like to do besides reading. Next question is, do you like nonfiction? And if so, what are some of your recommendations? I don't gravitate toward nonfiction a lot. I have mostly animal related nonfiction. I'm trying to get more like true crime nonfiction and stuff like that. But some that I have that I have read is My Life with the Chimpanzees by Jane Goodall. It's kind of about how she started to fall in love with chimpanzees and work her way into like helping them and observing them, researching them, stuff like that. I read this a while ago, so I don't really remember my thoughts on this. It is pretty short, but I gave it 4 stars. Jane Goodall is like one of my idols. She was the one that got me into wanting to learn more about primates and wanting to work with animals. So she was a big part in influencing me toward that path. But this is the only book I've read from her. I do want to read other ones, and I have, I think, 2 of her other books. I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet. The next nonfiction book that I've read and liked was The Song of the Ape, Understanding the Languages of Chimpanzees by Andrew R. Halloran. Again, I read this so long ago that I can't remember really what it's about. I know it's about a few chimpanzees who go from research facilities, I believe, and their kind of journey on figuring out like, oh, well, who's the boss in the enclosure and different things like that. I gave it 4 stars like the other one. And then some other nonfiction / like true crime that I want to read but haven't. So if any of you have read these or heard good things about them, comment them down below. But the first one is The Case of the Murderous Dr. Cream. The Hunt for a Victorian Era Serial Killer by Dean Jobb, or Jobb. But it's about this doctor who murders his patients. But yeah, I haven't heard too many things about this book, but it interests me to find out like, how he was caught and like what gave him away, you know, that sort of thing. So I love true crime books, so I'm hoping to get to that one soon. The next one is True Crime Story by Joesph Knox. I've heard this book is really good, but I've heard that I should read the audiobook with it because it makes it better. Ew. Bless me. But I've heard it's better. It's about Zoe Nolan, who goes missing. Next question is, what book or series would you love to see as a movie or TV show? The only one that comes to mind that I would want to see as a TV show is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I just finished this the other day and gave it 5 stars. I was hooked from the very beginning. As soon as I read the first chapter, I could not physically put this book down. I could not stop reading it. I flew through it. I loved the action. I loved the dragons. I loved the commentary, or not the commentary, the banter between the player or the characters. I love that it's an enemies to lovers. And I'm just so excited. There were so many twists and stuff and betrayals that I was like, oh snap, what's gonna happen next? That I could not put this book down. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars, but Rebecca Yarros, oh my word. She's a good writer. I'm just saying. I love the atmosphere of it. It totally gave me like Hunger Games and How to Train Your Dragon vibes. So, book I would want to turn into a TV show, more than a movie, because a TV show can obviously do more action and character building and stuff than a 2-hour movie can. So if anything, TV show, Fourth Wing, let's get it going. Because I am ready to binge this TV show when it comes out. Because I'm putting those positive vibes out. I'm like, nope, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So I can't wait to watch the TV show, Fourth Wing. I can't wait to read the second book. I don't know what it's called, but it comes out in November of this year. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So obviously, if you haven't already, pick up Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. It's amazing. You have to read it. Next question is, what movies do I love? So, musical movies. I love Zombies, the Disney Channel movie. The Greatest Showman and Mamma Mia are my top like 3 all-time favorites. I have others that I will like put on the screen, but those are my 3 that I always gravitate toward. Some of my favorite like romance or love story movies, my top 3 of those are probably going to be If I Stay, which actually got me into wanting to play the cello. And I actually got a cello because of that movie, and then fell in love with more of like playing it and the music wise of it and everything. And then obviously The Fault in Our Stars is one of the top 3. And my last one will probably be Dirty Dancing, because I love Patrick Swayze, I think is his name. And I love the whole just them falling in love and stuff. And then again, I will list kind of a bunch of different movies that I love on the screen. So yeah, I'm not really, well, I'll watch movies, but I don't really like watching them in the theater. I'd rather wait until they come out on like an online platform or whatever, because then I can pause it whenever I want, get food, stuff like that. Next question is, what music do I love? I can't really name songs, but I know the artist that I love, which is Drake Milligan, which sorry if you can hear my dog, he just got out of the shower. But Drake Milligan is a country singer, and I saw him first on America's Got Talent and fell in love with his voice, and it doesn't hurt that he is so hot. Same with Shawn Mendes. I like his voice and his music. And then two artists that I got into recently is Bryn Cartelli, which I will put like her name somewhere, and then Alexa Capelli. Those two I really like. And then anything oldies that would play on like 105.9 radio. So like 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, stuff like that. I love. Next question is least favorite genre. So I have a few that I don't really gravitate toward, and that's travel. Anything that deals with travel, like literature and stuff, I don't gravitate toward. Autobiographies, unless they're focused around animals or true crime. Other ones I don't vibe with. Spirituality, I don't care to read anything like that. Greek mythology, I haven't really gotten into. And then like just books that are just solely comedy. I like a storyline to it. And then some historical fiction, or most historical fiction I don't like.